Hi, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 40th episode of Let's Talk About Market. Today, in Wednesday's trading session, the Nifty index saw a good move on the upside, but today we are pulling back a bit. So, the question may arise: is this pullback done, or are we going to start a new up move and so on? Those are all the questions that needs to be answered, and what are the things that we will be watching out for. So I'll try to highlight those things. And there are also some sectors, that appears to be breaking out from a short-term consolidation. So what does it mean for those sectors? These all will be the discussion point today. So let me quickly share my screen, and please let me know once you all are able to see my screen, okay? And also, if you all are able to hear me properly, is my screen visible? Can someone please confirm? Can someone please confirm if my screen is visible and if you all are able to hear me properly? Okay. Thanks, Samir, for the confirmation. So, yes, coming to the Nifty index, we saw a very good jump in Wednesday's trading session, and we have been calling for that bounce. That at some point of time the bounce was expected. That is because there was a good falling wedge pattern that was forming, and after the breakout from this pattern, the Nifty has seen the jump, that it has seen. Now, whether this is just a pullback and are we going to correct, and what are the levels that we would be watching out for? So ideally, the Nifty index so far seems to be struggling around the 40-hour exponential average. It needs to break and sustain above 40-hour exponential average to see further rise. And on the way up, basically the retracement levels is what we will be watching out very closely. Okay, so so far it has not even done 38.2% retracement. Typically, at least what we would expect is 38.2% to be hit, and 50 and 61.8% are the important levels, when there is a meaningful pullback. So ideally, this will be the level that we would be watching out for. And to achieve these levels, basically the low should not break, so which means that 24,587, that will be a very important support level, and that should not break. And we may end up seeing something like this, that there can be some consolidation and then an up move. Those all things can happen, but ideally, the expectation would be that the low should not break, and Nifty should eventually make a grind towards those levels. Okay, that is what the expectation will be. And if 61.8% breaks on the upside, that's where actually the bulls will come back into the picture, and then we might even start anticipating if the high will be broken or no. But as of now, those all clear evidence are not visible. The only thing is that there are some encouraging signs that is there. So say, for example, Bank Nifty index. Okay, Bank Nifty index has broken above the 61.8% retracement level. Okay, it is around 78.6, but more or less, because it has broken above 61.8, the expectation will be that it will eventually break on the upside. And if you see, there is this inverse HNS pattern also that is developing on the Bank Nifty chart, right? So this is this is one good sign. Then if you see metals, okay, we have been discussing this for a while. Basically, again, what has happened is that up move, correction, consolidation, up move, consolidation, and now again an up move. And in all these cases, what is happening is that the 20 and the 40-day, that seems to be holding higher, and it is rising higher, and it is now almost on the verge of breaking the previous high. In fact, I think I think BSC metal also. I have put it in my watch list. No, it is not there. But yes, basically, be it BSC or NSC, all this high is getting retested, and that is the good part of it. Okay, and all this is happening after a good consolidation that the metal index has seen. So in that sense, again, this is a very, very good sign, and metal index showing strength, and moreover, it has been leading in this phase when the Nifty index is lagging. So this is definitely one strong sector that is worth keeping an eye on, and maybe whenever the Nifty rises higher or pulls back, this is sort of the sector that comes to our mind, in terms of rising higher. So this is again a good sign. And in Wednesday's trading session also, we finally got a positive daily close in the Nifty IT index after 8 days of decline. Okay, so over here now, even in IT, I mean, we are going to see the result season now. So this low is first an important resistance level on the upside. Okay, if the Nifty IT index sustains above this, breakdown point, so then averages will be the key. And if the averages breaks, then you would start expecting, IT also to make a comeback at some point of time, because this one sector is a big laggard. Okay, so yes, this is there. And the other thing that I would be watching very closely is Nifty FMCG, because now it is almost coming back towards the lower end of its trading range which it had developed. So can there be some bit of support even from this sector? I mean, these are all things that I would be watching out for very closely in the days to come. And while I was on the Strike dashboard, so what Strike dashboard helps you to do is to get a quick view of what is happening in the market. Okay, so I went to total market, and I saw there are 14 stocks that are hitting new 52-week high. Okay, and in fact, while I was even scanning through these stocks, if you remember, Aegis Logistic is one company that we were talking about. That is because I think on the weekly or monthly chart, there was a bullish crossover that we had seen uh, in this stock. Okay, and you could see that there was this very big consolidation that was happening. So I think it was weekly chart that I was talking about. Yes. So there was this crossover that we had seen in Aegis Logistics, and now it seems to be rising higher. And all this is happening after a very nice consolidation that it has seen in the stock. Okay, so see, this is what actually dashboard. I mean, this is the reason why we had designed this dashboard, so that you can quickly come to know what's happening in the market, and which are the stocks that you may want to look out for. So in this, actually, when I saw the 52-week high, so there was couple of common themes that I saw. I mean, one was of course the metals, because Tata Steel, Hindalco featured in this. The other interesting was all the financial services sort of stocks. So be it Nippon Asset, AB Capital, LTF, which is L&T Finance. So this is Poonawalla FinCorp. Okay, so these are all, again, all the financial service. On Tata Investment, we all know, I mean, due to Tata Capital listing, I mean, it's on fire. But there are many other things also that are turning up. And why this is important is because when we look at RRG, okay, in RRG, I had pointed you out that financial services where the momentum has started to pick up, right? So over here, there was some momentum pickup that we had started to see. And in fact, so this was on the weekly, right? There was this momentum pickup that we were seeing. And in daily, if you see financial service, so it was basically around this time only that there was this momentum pickup happening in early September, and since then it has been gaining momentum, and it eventually even went to the leading quadrant, right? So this is one sector that was important. That is also because if you see the chart, so the weekly chart was very interesting of financial service. Why? Because it had come back to the band, almost gone back to the zero line, and now it is turning around. So now, in fact, if this high is broken, what it may also lead to is a weekly, momentum turning bullish, and that again would be a very, very good sign for the financial service. So I think financial service is also one index that could be worth watching. That is also because the other stocks like Bajaj Finance, I mean, they had given this setup, right? Up move, correction, consolidation, pulling back to the averages, then again an up move. Now again we are seeing some sort of consolidation over here. The same thing was happening with Bajaj Finserv as well. Okay, up move, correction, up move. It led to a bullish crossover. So over here also, as long as this low or this average is protected, I mean, the broader trend would still be good. And I would tend to expect that this consolidation should break on the upside. And in fact, the other stocks that comes to my mind in terms of financial services, actually all the insurance companies. So if you see HDFC Life, I mean, some of you had only pointed out, right? So over here, what is happening is that consolidation is happening. It is almost reaching back to the zero line. So given that the financial service is also looking up, maybe insurance stocks which had good patterns. I think ICICI GI was another one that we were talking. Okay, no, this was not the one. MFSL. Okay, MFSL also up move consolidation. Now again, it is trying to rise higher. ICICI Pru, or it was SBI Life, I think. SBI Life. Yeah. So SBI Life also up move, consolidation happening. So maybe these might also be the stocks that you might want to watch out for. Very closely what it does. And as I mentioned, if the financial service index breaks above this previous high, then I mean, then the setup will get very interesting. Okay, just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. I'm getting a call, which is hi. Sorry, it was call from Rohit sir, so I had to attend. Yeah. So yeah, basically financial service, as I mentioned, that also looks interesting. Uh, Now, as I have told you in past few days as well, what we need to watch out for is what swing does, and when it comes to around 80-90 level. Now what is happening is that due to this last 2 to 3 days, so over here also, basically the pace of the decline started to, I mean, the pace of the fall was declining for many of the stocks, and that's where we started seeing, daily swings slightly inch higher, and this up move we have seen a nice bump up. So basically now this, when it comes to around 80 or 90 levels, we need to watch very closely what is happening and how the market structure is. And the other part is diffusion indicator. In this, the percentage of stocks with RMI buy also. Okay, that had gone to very low levels. Even that is now turning around. So that again is a good sign, and we need to see how this unfolds. Okay, so these will be the few watching points that I have. And as I mentioned, I mean, basically, you need to look at the sectors, what they are doing. And some of them, they seems to be doing well. So metals, you can see that there was this turnaround in momentum a few days back, and now there is no looking back. It seems to be rising higher. Private banks, bank nifty, these are also some things where we are seeing some turnaround. In fact, I'm seeing that MNC is turning around. Actually, this I did not notice. So let's see what within MNC are doing well. Nifty MNC. I think it might be Vedanta. Okay, so it is United Spirits that is doing well. Vedanta, SKF India, SKF India. Let me see the chart of SKF India. Actually, this was something I did not notice at all. Mm, so yeah, SKF India, yes, this also has an interesting pattern. So let me just do the regular pattern. Yeah, so you can see that there is some turnaround happening. A bullish crossover can happen, and you call this as a cup and handle pattern, or in a broader sense, can this be an inverse HNS that could be developing? Uh, but yeah, definitely the setup looks interesting. Even when we see the weekly chart up move, there was this consolidation. So yes, SKF is one that is looking interesting. Let me also see what SKF is doing on weekly chart. SKF, so it is still in weakening. Haven't seen the turnaround, but if at all the breakout happens, then maybe over here also you might end up seeing some turnaround. So definitely an interesting stock to watch out for, given that the daily is giving a bullish crossover. Then Schaeffler is the one. Let me also check that. So this setup also looks very interesting. That is because, as you can see, up move. Let me take a bar chart. An up move, sideways consolidation, and now that consolidation seems to be breaking on the upside. So again, even Schaeffler India is very interesting in terms of chart. When we look at, so let me first check which are the ones that are looking interesting on the weekly chart, because that's where it will be worth digging down the lower time frame. So Schaeffler is another one that looks interesting. Maruti, Siemens, Cohens, United Spirits. Yes, United Spirits also. Let's check that chart. United Spirits. So here also there was this a bit of a consolidation, and now that consolidation seems to be getting over, and that's why we are seeing United Spirits also coming towards the improving quadrant. And in fact, in daily chart, it is going into the leading quadrant, and in fact, the momentum is also inching higher. So this is again an interesting stock. It has formed a good base around this zone, so maybe worth keeping on the radar. Mm, the other one on the weekly chart, ABB Castrol. Castrol is the one that has seen some turnaround. Uh, Let us see Castrol. Yeah, so Castrol also, there is sort of this double bottom that it has formed, and now it is trying to turn around. Uh, Not a very, very good setup, but could be an initial sign of, the stock turning around. Let me also check weekly chart. Okay. I mean, it's not that great, but maybe this RRG is showing of a turnaround. So this can be this early signs of reversals that you might want to keep an eye on. Colgate is another one. I think many of you have mentioned Colgate many times. Oh, Colgate seems to be going down, but maybe it is outperforming the Nifty index, or the pace of the decline has gone down. That's why it seems to be turning around. But over here, there are no good signs as such of a turnaround. The rest is basically Vedanta. Vedanta also, metal is turning around. So Vedanta also, if you see the chart, it is trying to break above the previous high, and this is more or less a resistance zone which is there. Okay, again, this can be an interesting one because even RRG is pointing out that probably it can break into the leading quadrant next week. And let's see where Vedanta is in daily. So daily also there is a momentum gain that is happening. So again, even Vedanta looks interesting in that sense. The other one over here that I can see is India. sorry for spending some time over here, but actually I had not seen the chart of these MNCs. I mean, this did not come to my mind when I was analyzing. It was only when we started doing this live stream I saw this. That's why I'm digging a little deeper over here. What is happening? So Linde India also no signs as of now of a turnaround, but definitely some stocks there. I mean, these are some stocks that are worth noticing what it does over here. But yes, in general, basically MNC index, as we saw in the indices as well, seems to be looking up, or at least on the daily chart. I'm not sure how is it placed on the weekly chart. Weekly MNC. Okay, it's in the leading quadrant only. So that again is a good sign, and at least the falling momentum which was there, that has got arrested. So yeah, I think MNC also looks interesting. Let me also see the chart of MNC. MNC. Okay. Actually, I had not even seen the chart of MNC. But yes, see, now, I mean, this is where RRG becomes helpful. You can see that this stock has come back towards the lower end of the band, taken support at the 40, and now that seems to be turning around. Again, I think this can be an interesting setup over here. Maybe worth looking at MNC index as well. Probably I should put this in my radar as well. I don't even have this in my watch list. Nifty MNC. So I think once it comes in my watch list, it will at least be there on my radar. So yeah, I think MNC looks interesting. I mean, that was the takeaway. And the other thing, like I mentioned, it was basically financial services, that is trying to show some promising setups. I mean, within that, the stocks are already doing well, but on index level, it seems to be, showing some promise. And of course, metal index that has already done well, and it seems to be inching higher. So yeah, broadly, that is the takeaway for today. Look out for the index that we mentioned, and also more importantly, if the Nifty index is going to break out, then we would want it to go about 25 120. Okay, that is the main thing. I mean, if it goes above that, then we will have this comfort of an up move. But at least for now, in the near term, at least say for 3-4 days or 5 days or something like that, the trend seems to be positive, and within that, maybe MNC, financial services, metals, these are all expected to do well in the near term. So I think with that, I mean, that was the broader takeaway. In all this case, it is very important to mention that the Nifty index should not break the low of 24,587. Okay, I mean, if it breaks on the downside, then all the bets are off the table. Okay, for now. So yes, that's what we have for now. And let me know if there are any point of discussion or any questions that you all have. I can take it up. Any questions or anything that you have? Okay, I'll wait for a minute. I'll wait for a couple of minutes. If I don't get any questions, maybe we can end this live stream. Any questions from anyone? Is it possible for you to show how to create watch list on Strike? Okay, I'll do that. So Mandar, see, basically, I'm showing you from overview, but the same functionality is there everywhere. Once you hover on the stock, you will get two options. One is the go to button where you go directly to that stock page, and the other one, which looks like a bookmark one, that is the one which is basically there to save in the watch list. Okay. Now I am just creating a dummy watch list test. Okay. So now I click three stocks over here and add it to watch list. You will see it in the watch list. Okay. Now again, I want to add, say, this Nippon India asset. Okay. So this, say I added three more. It will again come into my list over here, right? So this is how you can create a watch list. If you go anywhere across the scanner, you will have the same idea over here. Okay, like over here, Sun TV is there. So say for example, if I have added 4 stocks I'm adding. Now the 7 stocks will become 11 over here, and you will get it. So that's how we can create watch list. I hope Mandar, you got this, how to create a watch list. Mitanshu, what to do when RMI crossover happens on pharma stocks like Cipla? So firstly, Mitanshu, if you remember, we discussed pharma. It is on the weaker side, right? I mean, even if you see on the daily chart, it is below the averages. On the hourly chart, it is struggling around the hourly averages. So when this is the trend, I mean, when we know that the broader trend is not that great, ideally, if there is a bullish crossover in Cipla, okay, then you will be a little careful. Okay, you would want to be very confident of this, trying to buck the trend. If you're not, it is best to let go, because over here also, as you can see, the prices are still below the averages. There is no bullish crossover as such. On the hourly chart, definitely there is a crossover, but I don't know. I mean, it depends on what time horizon you're trying to trade on. If you're trading for 1-2 days, maybe you might want to look at this, but positionally, not that great a bet. Can we get recording of this video? So Skip, basically this is there on the YouTube channel only. If you go to YouTube, so all the live sessions that we do, that automatically gets recorded. So sorry, strike money. Okay, you go to strike money, and this is what you're seeing right now. Once this is done, okay, you'll go to strike money, go to live, and this session will appear over here. Okay, so all the live sessions that we do, that gets I mean, that is by default, you can see it over here as episode number 40. So yeah, I think that's all we have for now. I mean, these were all the questions. So let's do one thing. Let's wind up for today, as I cannot see any more questions. So yeah, let's end the session today and let's meet on Monday. Thank you.